Warning, 30 Screams or Less may contain spoilers about movies that have recently been released. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, come back, and enjoy the show. Or, if you don't want to waste your time watching the movie and rather have two random horror dudes watch it for you, we got you covered as well. Welcome everyone to 30 Screams or Less, a horror movie podcast where we review horror movies in 30 minutes or less. Today's movie we're going to be reviewing is called The Night House. It's directed by David Bruckner, written by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski, starring Rebecca Hall as Beth, Sarah Goldberg as Claire, and Vondi Curtis Hall as Mel. The plot of the movie is, after her husband's sudden suicide, Beth is left alone in the lake house he built until strange visions and noises make her question if she's really alone. As she digs into his past, she uncovers disturbing secrets and realizes he may have been protecting her from something far darker than grief. But first, Corey, true horror story. Looked in the mirror this morning, my beard an absolute nightmare. Dry, wild, looked like it clawed its way out of a crypt.
That's terrifying, man. Did you hit it with that beard octane?
Oh yeah. Beard wash, conditioner, beard oil brought it back from the dead.
Fellas, don't let your beard turn into a creature feature. Keep it alive and kicking with Beard Octane.
And right now, hit beardoctane.com, use code 30screams10, get 10% off. Save some cash and save your beard from becoming a horror show.
Bad beard day? We've had plenty. Beard Octane's the fix. We swear by it.
It's here. It's terrifying. It's Texas Frightmare Weekend, May 22nd through 24th at the Urban Convention Center. Meet your favorite horror icons from Scream, Saw, Leprechaun, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Mimic, and more. Plus other events and horror merchandise. Don't miss out on the Southwest's premier horror convention, Texas Frightmare Weekend, May 22nd through the 24th at the Urban Convention Center. Visit TexasFrightmareWeekend.com.
30 Screams or Less starts now. Corey, what did you think of The Night House?
Steve, this is up there with some of my favorite horror films in recent years.
Really?
It builds up this constant sense of dread while grounding everything in real emotional weight, especially Rebecca's grief. The pacing is perfect, the character development is strong, and I was completely glued to it from start to finish. Again, I barely took any fucking notes. Twitter post.
Yep, I see that.
This is one that absolutely deserves more attention.
Yeah, I thought this was great. I feel like this is one that completely flew under the radar because I'd never heard of it. However, as I'm watching it, like I said, I went into this completely blind. I didn't even see a trailer, nothing. Just went straight into it. I was making sure I was even watching the right movie because I saw that there was a Night House movie, and I was like, I don't know if that's the same one. So I took a gamble, and looks like I was right. So Rebecca Hall,
And now I hope you were wrong.
Oh God, that would have been hysterical.
We're talking about two different movies.
That would be great if we were just reviewing the different movies at the same time, and you just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'd be like, ADHD. "What are you talking about?"
I feel like we did that once before. We were talking about a movie. Didn't we do this early on?
Yes, we did. This happened. What is it though? I think I started watching it, and I'm like, I don't think I'm watching the right movie. And then you sent it to me. I'm like, I am not watching the right movie. I'm like, this doesn't seem like horror at all. I'm like, this is fucking weird.
I forget what movie it was, but that absolutely happened.
Oh, it definitely did.
We should have just ran with it.
I should have ran with it.
That'd be a funny episode.
Oh, man, that would have been good. People would have been so damn confused. Imagine the ultra confusion of two different reviews happening of a movie with the same name. People are like, I don't know.
Now I wish we did it.
I go, give it a 1 star. You're like, I'll give it a 5 star. I'm like, could we watch the same fucking movie? But I recognize Rebecca Hall from the movie The Town. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, wow, she looks really familiar.
So I thought she didn't she direct this or produce it or something too?
I didn't see a producer credit. I know she didn't direct it because the director is David Bruckner.
Yeah, so I feel like she did something other than just acting in it.
Probably executive producer. All these actors, they tend to have this executive producer role as soon as they even step foot on the stage. It's almost like a requirement. Like, I want an executive producer credit. I see it all the time, and sometimes I wonder what that even is. Like, sometimes I've heard in like movies and shows and stuff that it's just like a bullshit credit that they throw out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll give you an executive producer credit, like that type deal. But maybe I didn't dive into it too much. Like I said, I went into this blind, and today is like the first time I'm even looking at who directed it and everything. So your guess is as good as mine. Did I do my homework on this movie? Not at all, because I just got back from Vegas. And I'm like, shit, I got to watch this movie and record this episode. And
yeah, that's why we didn't have an episode last week, because this asshole went to WrestleMania.
Yeah, look at that right there. Vegas. Well, Ari's just looking at it right there. Fuck me. Yeah, I've spent the week in Vegas with family and watching WrestleMania and stuff. Before that, I was in bad shape. I was not feeling well. So I was like...
That's actually why we didn't have an episode this week.
Yeah, because I was both sick and then went to Vegas. So it was not fucking happening. Otherwise, I probably would have recorded last Tuesday like we last Tuesday like we normally do. And then I would have tried to get that thing shoveled out for Monday. But me being sick and then me leaving for Vegas just didn't allow it to happen. And Are we the smart ones where we're backlining episodes? No, we're not.
I like get that recommended all the time. Like, you guys should record several episodes at a time. Like, I know other people do that, but we're fucking lazy.
Yeah. Actually, if anything, we work harder, not smarter.
Yes.
We just decide we're going to do it every week because fuck it.
Yeah.
But then again,
that's why we saved the director's cuts episode, which we could have done.
Yeah, we could have done. Yeah. So here's the thing, though. When you backfill, that's the word I want. Backfill, not backline. Backlining's for fucking bands when they're stacking equipment on top of each other, basically. Backfilling episodes is great on paper, but then you don't get the lunacy of everything that's happening in that span of time. So you wouldn't hear some of the stories that we were talking or some of the lunacy that we're like throwing out, whatever. It would be completely different. And that's why South Park is so successful, is because they do it like the week of.
Yeah.
So
that's how I was always like amazed at how every episode has current events in it, like shit that happened like the day before.
Right. And that's what would happen with us is like, well, that's what's happening with us. We can talk about really recent current events. Can I talk about Vegas on that last episode if we were backfilling? No, I would have to talk about Vegas like 2 weeks later. So I don't know. In theory, it makes sense. And that way we can fucking do other shit with our lives. But I don't know. I kind of like to do an every week deal. Plus, I get to talk to my friend on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's whatever.
It's fine talking to you every week, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay. I put up with it.
Deal with it, pal.
Deal with it. So, yeah, we're
no, I was going to say that. Did you recognize Sarah Goldberg, the lady that plays Claire?
Oh, God. She was so familiar, and I fucking couldn't place her. What is she from?
Yeah. Did you watch Barry?
I did not. I've watched some episodes, but not enough to say I recognize her from that.
Okay, well, that's what I recognize her from because I love that show.
From what I've seen, I liked it. I just never dove into the full thing.
You should. It's short. It was only like 2 or 3 seasons. So.
Oh, that's an easy watch then. Are they hour-long episodes?
No, if I remember right, they're only like 30 minutes.
Oh, I love that. I love me some 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, it was good. You got, what's his name in it?
Why
what the hell's that guy's name?
Bill Hader?
Bill Hader, yeah.
You're the one that watched it, but I still know.
It hasn't been on for fucking 3 years.
Yeah. What has he been up to?
I don't know. What has Bill Hader been up to since, what was it? Chapter 2 was the last thing I think I saw him in.
Yeah, that's the last thing I saw him in. But he's doing
Bill
okay.
Hader.
He's got residuals from Superbad and everything.
Bill Hader. Last thing he's credited on IMDb is from that movie If. Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh.
2024.
Wow. Whoa.
Did he retire?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hiatus? Is he dead? He was like in a lot of stuff and then boom, just off the face of the planet.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, rest in peace, Bill Hader, I guess.
I'm kidding, by the way. He's alive.
We're joking. He's not dead. Please don't clip this. Don't add clickbait. None of that shit. He's not dead.
Hey, maybe we can that's how we get trending, though.
Oh, that is how we get trending. That's like,
we can get
stupid.
That hashtag Bill Hader is dead.
Oh my God. That's how this shit happens, though. That people put out this bullshit article or like just some real clickbaity shit, and then it gets shared everywhere. And this is how fake death rumors start.
30 Screams or Less started the rumor
of Bill Hader dying. What would be hilarious if Bill Hader came onto this episode next week and had to just say, listen, I'm not dead. I am very much
You just
alive.
spoiled the surprise.
That's a surprise. And he's just saying,
Edit that out.
No, I'm not going to edit it out. He's not going to show up on this podcast. And if he does, it's going to be like, oops, somehow I hopped into your room.
We don't have the money to pay him for the appearance.
I really don't have that kind of money. That would be a fun get, though.
We just blew our whole budget on fucking business cards.
Postcards.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, those are sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish the QR code worked, but
It's not my fault. Fucking androids are bullshit. Us iPhone users are perfectly fine scanning a QR code, no matter what, with our standard camera. But
yeah,
God forbid,
cool.
like an Android, you need to load up Google Lens just to scan it. Yeah,
I
did some research. Y'all need to get good. Get good.
All right.
Watch, scan it with Google Lens and see what happens. And then scan it with your camera and you'll see it not work.
You talking to
I'm talking to you.
I know it. I tested it.
You tested it on both?
I told you this.
Yeah. Oh, I thought your friend tested it on Google Lens and it worked.
No, it was me.
That was you. Okay. So, yeah.
No, I did it too after it worked for him.
Oh, okay. Well, Androids being Androids, it's like Outlook being Outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie. We always tend to do this. People love our rambling, though.
They do, but it's funny because it's always the movies we like, we just don't talk about.
No, it's like this. It's the movies we don't like, we'll ramble. The movies we love, we'll fucking ramble. Because like we either don't want to give it away or we don't care enough to even talk about it. So people are just like, I don't know, did you guys even like this movie? That's like the main question that they ask us is like, do we even fucking like this movie if we're even talking about it? And
no, we just ramble.
Just rambling. And we did. Like, I immediately had an idea just by watching a movie that it had to do with something about death. Because I'm looking at they're showing the bedroom. They're showing a bunch of tissues on the nightstand. I'm like, well, they're not going to show a bunch of tissues on the nightstand because someone has a cold. Doesn't make sense. So someone clearly died, a husband or a wife perhaps. And then I see like a woman and like presumably her mother or a friend just walk into the door. I'm like, okay, husband died, could go either way with maybe natural causes or unaliving. Turns out unaliving.
Yep.
I don't know. It's fun to say unalive.
It's so fun.
It is. They love saying that on social media because they don't want to like get flagged for suicide.
Yeah, that's definitely like a trigger word for the algorithm.
And not to mention people get a little triggered by it too. So
understandable.
It's understandable. It's a shitty thing, but there's a reason for him doing that. But man, this movie took some time to get into the fucking meat and potatoes. Let me tell you.
It did.
But it makes sense. It does, but I'm like, fuck me. When's anything going to happen? I mean, we are like an hour in until we find out like, oh, okay, the husband is not quite what he seems.
So that's kind of what I was saying in like my initial, what I said initially at the beginning. I thought the pacing was good.
Yeah.
I mean, you just knocked that a little bit because you said nothing really happens for the first hour, but I think it worked for the story.
I know.
Because she's grieving.
Yes, I get it. And then my ADHD fucking brain is probably just like, all right, what's happening? But no, it makes absolute sense because she's grieving and like she's going out with friends to like the bar and trying to have fun. And then she's showing like the suicide note from her husband and all this stuff. And in that whole grieving period, she's fucking spiraling. She's going through all that shit. So it makes sense on why she's grieving that whole time. And then she's now trying to justify the death. So I've never been in that kind of situation, but it honestly does make sense. And her portrayal of Beth was great.
She was amazing.
Yeah, she was awesome. I thought she was great in this because it really did make you feel like she was in true mourning. And that's a good actor right there.
It is, but like I want to go back to what you said about them passing around with the suicide note.
Yeah.
Did you notice the dried blood still on the envelope?
I did. And the girl was like, you still have it in your purse. Like, oh, this is not good. Oh, it sounds a lot like your shit that you collect now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I don't have a letter that has dry blood on it. Actually, it could be coffee. We don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. I told Corey he needs to lick the paper to taste it and see what it is, but he won't.
No. You know what that guy did, Charles Albright?
What?
They called him the eyeball killer.
Okay. Oh, I hate this already.
What do you think he did after?
Something with eyeballs, Corey.
Yeah, he scooped their eyes out.
Oh my God, with a spoon?
And he took the. I don't know what he did it with. They said he had
I hate it already.
He had like medical experience, so he like after he would kill someone, he would take their eyeballs.
Is this fucking See No Evil?
Right. So I guess it could be dried blood, like eyeball blood.
Oh God, I hate it. Oh, I don't like it.
So yeah, it's in my possession now.
What is he doing? Is he like just rolling them in his hands like a Benoit ball? Just be like, yeah, just rolling eyeballs.
Aren't the Benoit balls the thing you stick up your bits?
Your lady bits?
You're like,
I don't know. I don't stick them in
to
my
make
lady
them
bits.
stronger?
I don't have lady bits.
What is that thing called? Benoit.
They're called Benoit balls.
No,
Chris Benoit balls. Yes.
You do not edit this out.
I don't plan to.
I need you to go to Google real quick.
No, I don't want to see Benoit balls on Google.
Just the definition.
Okay.
I need you to before we move on because you said it.
Kegel balls. Yeah. Small weighted device inserted into the vagina to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, aiding in bladder control, post-childbirth recovery, and increased sexual pleasure. Let's think about this for a second.
That's not what you...
Let's... Okay, because I've seen those Benoit ball things.
Here's the TikTok.
Okay. I've gone to some of these fucking, like, I don't know, like, okay, I think I've gone to a Japanese store once. And they have like
a Japanese store.
Yeah, and they have like they'll have like a nice box, looks like a vintage type box, and you got your Benoit balls in there with like fancy like designs and stuff. So are they taking these things and just whip right up and just spinning around in there? You can't answer me. Okay. Do I have to get a fucking video on this? Oh God. I'm not pulling that up. I can't. I'm recording a podcast episode here. I'm not about to watch that kind of footage.
I feel like you were trying to reference something else though, and not these.
Oh, the ones that like you spinning in your hands?
Yeah, that's not this.
That's not Benoit balls? What are those called then?
No,
They're like the
stress
same exact
balls.
size. Oh, maybe they're not. Because, okay, let's see. I got to look at the images. No, they look like anal beads. No, look at okay. Master Series Titanica Extreme Steel or okay, those are way bigger than
people have tuned out already.
Help. Someone fucking help me. What the difference is between Benoit balls and the fucking other balls that you put in your hands like this and you spin them around like a fucking evil villain, just like an evil genius. You've seen it in fucking movies.
$1 million.
They're just like $1 million, and they're just spinning them around in their hands. I don't know, something you probably see Lex Luthor do, or whatever. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him spin around Benoit balls, but you know what I'm saying. You've seen it in movies.
Yeah, boating balls.
Boating? Like
the balls you swirl in your hands are called the boating balls.
Oh, they're boating
used for
balls.
Physical exercise and therapy to improve finger dexterity and relax the hand.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. The boating balls.
Yeah, I knew you weren't. No, I knew it wasn't what you were thinking. So we've now talked about this for like 20 minutes.
Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's got like that nice fancy looking box and the metal balls inside. I have boating balls, not Benoit balls. I could actually wait. I probably have them. Like I could probably access them right now, but I'm not gonna fucking. Can we go back into the movie?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's get back on track and talk about other things about this movie than Benoit balls, anal beads, boating balls. We're done. We're just moving on.
All right, let's talk about one of my favorite things about this movie. We've talked about this many times, is the use of silence.
Yes.
There was a lot of that in this movie, and it was done perfectly because there was maybe like one or two jump scares. And another thing we've always talked about is we don't like excessive jump scares. Movies relying on that to, for suspense purposes or whatever, scare, whatever.
Yeah.
But silence, I love the silence and the fact that you can hear the whispering.
Yep.
You hear that whispering all the time, or Rebecca can hear the whispering.
I bet that was awesome to listen to in headphones.
Yeah.
But I don't I don't tend to watch movies listening to headphones unless I'm like on a flight or whatever. Or I'm like watching a screener at my computer here. But I do love the sound design in this. I love that they used a lot of silence, because I am a big fan of silence in movies, because it can make scenes so much more chaotic.
I think silence is scarier than a jump scare.
Oh, absolutely. It's nerve-wracking because you expect to hear some sort of noise. And when you're hearing nothing, now your mind's playing tricks on you. And here's a for instance. Christopher Nolan in The Dark Knight Rises, the fight between Batman and Bane in the sewer there is no music whatsoever. It is just them fighting, and people are just onlooking, and you can tell like Batman is just getting pissed off, and he's like losing this battle, and Bane is just fucking like ripping into him. Zero music.
So it's funny you say that, because Sarah Goldberg was in that movie too.
What? I gotta find her. Sarah Goldberg.
She was an analyst, credited as an analyst in The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, then I was like, Audacity. What else do I know her from? She's got like that freaking face. Okay, she was, analyst number one. I don't think I would have known her as an analyst number one in The Dark Knight Rises. That's funny, though, that I mentioned Dark Knight Rises, and coincidentally, she's actually in that. But another movie we've talked about before, No Country for Old Men.
Yep.
Zero music.
I had to rewatch that.
Oh, God, that is a
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Oh, yeah, watch it again. It holds up.
That was the first time. Was that Javier Bardem's first acting gig?
I don't know if it was
honestly don't know.
I don't think it was his first acting gig, but man, what a fucking compelling villain. Compelling. He is still one of the top-rated villains of all time.
Oh, for that performance? Yeah.
Creepy. So creepy. I heard a story that was like his real hair for a few weeks while he's filming that movie. And he's like, I'm never going to get laid with this kind of hair. That's kind of funny.
I feel like that would have the opposite effect.
You think
he's
so?
a good-looking dude.
Yeah. He also played God in Mother. Have you seen Mother?
The Jennifer Lawrence movie?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, God. That's a movie I can't watch again. It's just unsettling. Have you seen it?
Honestly, never seen it. Nope.
Oh, God. You would love it.
Perfect.
Do yourself a favor. Watch it once, and you'll be like, okay, I get why you don't want to watch it again, but it's an interesting movie. It's basically about the Bible, but they don't make it like to be like a religious type movie. Just all the references in it are in correlation to the Bible. But it's a fucking wacky movie. So
okay, it's good to know.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Let's get back into it. Holy shit. We are ranting and raving about everything else other than this movie.
We're at 27 minutes.
We are at 27 fucking minutes of just psychobabble bullshit. So, okay.
Did you find it weird that there was a scene? Okay, so this scene was right after that whole dinner table scene, passing the suicide note. They let her keep the gun that her husband killed himself with.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, huh?
And it still had dried blood on it.
Yeah.
Which obviously, but I just thought it was kind of shocking. Like, I just never heard of that. Like, granted, like you get all your belongings back, but like I feel like that might be an exception to that rule. I don't know how it works. I just thought it was odd.
I don't know how it works either, but I do feel that a weapon does not go back to the house. It just does not. It stays in police custody for God knows how long, but everything else, it's not going to be like used for any sort of trial or whatever. That I'm sure can just go back. But a gun, that's an interesting one, because you're taking this weapon and being like, yeah, here you go. Your husband offed himself with this weapon. Feel free to use it, which, I mean, you want to sell it? Feel free to sell it or whatever. Like that doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't sound like a normal thing, but maybe someone can answer this. Maybe there's a cop that listens to our podcast and it'd be like, you know what? Sometimes we do hand weapons back to people because I would like to know
if we
that.
do have a cop that listens to this, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because that's interesting. I say we just jump ahead a little bit then, because we are so fucking out of out of left field at the moment. I'm making up for 2 weeks of not fucking recording, basically. So, okay, we're at the dinner table scene. She's doing that. This is where she's clearly like starting to lose it. Well, obviously she was already losing it. She was trying to be strong and everything. She went back to work way too soon. And like she had this parent come in trying to give her shit. And then she just straight up like, you know what? I wasn't here for your son to like hand in a new version of his report, even though he didn't, because my husband shot himself in the head. And the woman like fucking ghost white, like just, I didn't, she's like, there you go. He's got a B now. Anything else I can help you with? And the mother, like the parent was mortified.
Yeah.
And she's just like, what do you want from me? I just gave your son a B. And of course, she's speechless now. She can't say shit. I mean, what do you say to her? She must have felt like the biggest asshole just going in there and be like, you know what? My son deserves a B instead of a C. And then realizing, oh, you haven't. She said, even said to her, well, everyone has family issues. And that's when she was like, well, your husband also didn't shoot himself in the head. That type deal.
Yeah.
That's
poor timing on that one.
Yeah, bad timing. I bet you anything, if that was real life, that parent would be like, I'm never going to any of your teachers ever again. You're on your fucking own, kid.
I think the teacher would be terminated too.
Oh yeah, they get terminated for the fucking weirdest things these days. I don't know. It's odd. It's an odd thing these days. But I mean, some teachers have tenure or whatever, and they can just take a shit on their desk and they're still there, I guess, right? Something like that, and say it's art or it's a fucking chemistry experiment. I don't know. Sure. Why not? Okay. So I'm just going to jump ahead to the actual house, the secret house. And this neighbor.
The John Wayne Gacy house?
Yeah, the John Wayne Gacy house, we'll call it. Because that's basically it. Now, she's talking to this neighbor, her named Mel. And Mel, pretty close to the couple, close to Beth and Owen, and was always friendly with them. Now, Mel is like denying it all day that there's no house and that it's protected land. They can't build on there and all this stuff. But apparently, Owen, and as I'm watching this, Corey, I'm thinking culty shit. Because I see that fucking doll, that voodoo doll thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, are we going to have some sort of ancient relic that Owen was like praying to or something? And like, that's why she's starting to hear noises and voices and all this stuff. And almost. So Owen was basically protecting her from like this dark force. Now, it doesn't seem like she had the dark force before. So maybe it was with him all the time, like the whole time. What do you think about that? Because there was mentions in the movie about Owen basically being her protector because she was always dealing with like depression and stuff like that. But part of me thinks that I think Owen had it maybe a little worse than Beth.
So my theory on this whole movie is like none of this shit was real.
Oh, okay.
She was just grieving.
Yeah.
She was dealing with her grief and maybe seeing and hearing, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a fucking
like
good
when
take.
you maybe get like you experience a loss like that,
Mm-hmm.
it fucks with you.
Yeah.
Right?
I would assume so.
So
yeah.
I don't know. That was my kind of my theory when the credits rolled. I'm like, I think she was kind of just driven crazy with the loss of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, because of the way the movie ends, she's going to Kurt Cobain herself out on the boat.
Yeah. No.
And then it doesn't.
Yeah. No, we've heard recent stories about the Kurt Cobain deal. They're thinking murder now.
I mean, that's been a
that's been a theory for God knows how long, but
yeah, Courtney Love did it.
yeah. So, but then now they're like, oh, DNA, more DNA
great.
saying
She's gonna
that
come
it's
for
murder.
us now.
Murder was the case.
You got to edit that one out. We're gonna get sued by Courtney Love.
Oh, God, yeah, you're right. I will edit that out.
No, leave it. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Talk to our lawyers.
We don't have any. I need one. They're like, yes, they don't have one. Let's take them to the bank.
Yeah, so basically we're at the end of the movie now.
Yeah, so we're basically at the end of the movie. But you bring up a good point, is that I was floating in between, is this all in her head and she's like just going crazy by the grief, or if it's something more sinister? So now that you say this is maybe her processing her grief through nightmares and everything like that, that makes total sense. Because she would always fucking wake up in these ridiculous places like sleepwalking and just all this shit. So I was going like back and forth on, is this all her fucking dreaming and she's just asleep and processing all this shit in her dreams? So that's what I was kind of thinking. Dude, there's this one fucking scene in this movie that I thought was so damn cool. Do you remember the scene where she's in the bathroom and she's feeling Owen's presence and she's like touching him and she can actually like feel him and he's like putting his arm around her, stuff like that?
Yeah, I made a note about that in my notes.
Oh, okay.
One of my few notes, that I really thought that whole scene was so well done.
Oh, that scene was fucking great because the camera switch was so fucking cool. Like, she got her head smashed against the mirror and then the next thing you see her coming into that like that other fucking world that she's in where everything's backwards. It's like that dream state world. So it's almost like she got knocked so hard and that like her whole fucking mind just transformed into that different world. Like she just got knocked out and fucking woke up in a dream. And it was so seamless because what you were seeing is you were seeing like her getting attacked by this fucking invisible entity. But then in the mirror, Owen is killing some random girl. And when Owen smashed the girl's head against the mirror, she also got her head smashed against the mirror. So she basically turned into that other girl. So I thought it was really cool, like just really cool camera play. But yeah, great scene. I did enjoy some of those visual effects and some of the camera trickery that they were doing. But you bring up a good point that maybe none of this is real and maybe she was just processing all this through her mind.
Yeah, because like there's no resolution.
Yeah, there really
at
isn't.
the end of the movie, you know?
Yeah, you see a fucking boat on the water.
So she's just living with it. She's just going to spend the rest of her life living with it.
Yeah, you're right. So she could have gave into like those dark thoughts and then killed herself. And maybe this just has to do with dark thoughts in general. So people struggling with dark thoughts and living in those dark thoughts and needing to find a way to get out of it. And I think that might be just the case here. This may be one of those instances where it has nothing to do with any sort of demons or ritualistic shit or culty shit or whatever. And it's really just like all these scenarios being made up in her head to justify why he did the thing that he did. And like she created these whole illusions. So this movie is definitely open for interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Wide open ending.
Wide open ending. The ending a little weird too. She's about to unalive herself with the same gun that her husband killed himself with, and her friend dives into the water, takes her out of the boat, and it's just the boat on the water. And that's it. Like she's just looking at it, and the scene fade to black. But I think we should just like get into it at this point before we go off on another tangent like we have been doing.
Yeah, you want to talk about porridge?
No, yeah, let's go with porridge this time. Jeez. Oof. No. Or corn. We can talk about corn, but just no, we're not gonna do any of that. I say we get into the final reviews, not talking about porridge. Corey, what do you give The Night House?
This gets a 5 out of 5. I feel like it was a straight up gut punch type of movie. You're basically just watching Beth try to exist after losing her husband. And it's heavy. The use of silence here is so well done. It builds dread without constantly throwing jump scares at you. But the few it does use will definitely get you. They're unexpected. Very well done with the like 1 or 2 jump scares. The score, the cinematography, all of it works. And Rebecca Hall absolutely carries this movie with a seriously underrated performance. This is the kind of movie that makes silence feel very loud. It's not trying to overwhelm you with it slowly pulling you into something you don't want to sit with. It's a heavy movie.
It is a very, very, very heavy movie. So I was going to go a different route, but now just talking to you and talking through that maybe none of this was real and this was all more of a fabrication of her grief. I was going to go with a 4 out of 5. No, I'm going with a 1 out of 5. No.
I'm fucking going the other way. No, cool.
I'm going 5. I'm going
hanging up.
Wrap it up. No, you know what? I'm going to go with a 5 out of 5 on this as well.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. This movie did a great job at building a ton of tension and creating the mood of what some people experience when suffering a loss of a loved one, especially in this type of method. Rebecca Hall's portrayal of Beth as the grieving wife gave a genuine performance that made you feel that she was truly going through the experience, making the role feel organic and almost realistic. So strong performances overall. Sound design was great. Cinematography, like I was mentioning with the whole mirror switch scene, I thought that was awesome. Honestly, my initial thought was, okay, maybe it being slow is a negative thing, but now as I'm talking to you about it, okay, no, it's more deliberate. I think the slowness thing is merely me nitpicking and being just like, oh, my ADD needs to fucking hurry this thing up. But it's not a movie that you need to hurry up. It's all building for a reason. It's bringing you through the grieving process. So now that I'm like kind of analyzing it from that realm or that approach, it makes total sense for the runtime. And it was like an hour, 47 minutes. So it's not horrible. But
was it?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
No?
I feel like it flew.
Oh, yeah. Hour 47. So didn't really know what to expect from this. Like I said, I went to this blind, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So overall, great movie. Highly recommend watching it. If you want to watch The Night House, you can watch it now on VOD. All right, everyone, help out our algorithm by liking, following, and subscribing to us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, and Slasher. Yes, all of them. No, we're not sorry.
Leave us a 5-star review on every podcast platform you use so strangers can also regret listening to us. Tell your friends too, because misery loves company.
Our intro and outro music is courtesy of Andrew Scott Bell. Go listen to him on all major streaming platforms. And if you see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on vinyl in the wild, be sure to buy it immediately like a responsible adult.
We're part of the Shining Wizards Network. Wrestling, heavy metal, horror, basically everything your parents warned you about. Go check them out at shiningwizardsnetwork.com.
Visit 30screamsorless.com to buy some merch.
Want us to review something? Contact us through our website or scream into the void on social media. Same difference.
Also, freshen up your face with Beard Octane and save some money while you're at it. Be sure to use the code 30screams10 at checkout to save 10% off your order, because your beard deserves better than neglect and regret. Smell good, look alive, and scare people for the right reasons. I'm Steve.
And I'm Corey.
And thanks for listening to 30 Screams or Less, and don't forget to drink your beans.